Seems like we're getting a variety day. Although, given some of the items that we got yesterday and some of the cards, could also theoretically be getting Jax support as the next Runeterra champion. I don't know. It could be a bunch of variety, or it could be Jax support. I will not be live the next few days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will not be live for the reveals. Instead, I'm gonna be attending a tournament. And don't worry, there will be some content coming out about that. But for the time being, I have to stop streaming because I will be at a tournament. Can't be fast as fuck then? No. But instead, you can be fast as fuck to the YouTube videos. Because every day, when I get home from the tournaments for the next 3 days, I'm going to get home and record my reaction to whatever is revealed. I'm going to try and stay as spoiler-free to whatever gets revealed before then, up to that point. Which is going to be hard, because I think I'm going to be getting home around, like, 8 or 9, when the reveals are usually at, like, noon. So the videos will be going up late, and my reaction to them is going to involve not looking at my Twitter, basically. But that's the goal. The goal is to have honest reactions, upload them a little late to the channel, and just, like, be prepared for that. I think we can do that. Okay, if that's supposed to be Jax, I don't think it's Jax, but if that's supposed to be Jax, that's a really fucking good redesign. Alright then. Here we go. Jumping into today's reveals. Starting off, Parts Made Whole. A 4-mana burst, Piltover Bilgewater spell. Discard 1 to draw 2. If you discard an equipment, summon an Akathian Mirage. Okay. Akathian Mirage is a 2-mana 3/2. Not bad. Interesting, I guess. Good card, better salvage. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like a salvage. I could tell I was looking for the salvage. But I couldn't find what card I was looking for. Discard 1 to draw 2 is a pretty good effect. It's 4 mana, so it's twice as expensive. But it also has the ability to just burst summon a unit for you if you discard equipment. And seeing as Improvise works a lot around creating equipment that you can use, and you're theoretically going to be filling up your hand space, giving it discard, giving this deck main deckable discard is very nice. That'll help a lot with clearing out the excess equipment and getting rid of the scrap metal, basically. The other thing to keep in mind, I'm looking at it purely from a Weapon Master deck perspective. This is also a P&Z and Bilgewater main deckable spell. Bilgewater already has very good draw. It depends on how prominent equipment is in Bilgewater for this to be, like, something I'm going to consider good. Like, if equipment is good in Jinx discard, or Ezreal Draven discard, what have you, then, yeah, Parts Made Whole might actually see some play in those decks. But other than that, I feel like this is a card primarily so you can get rid of the scrap metal that comes up every time a Improvise unit dies and their weapon just goes back to your hand, right? That's going to fill up your hand a lot. We were talking about that before the stream, that units that die putting their equipment back in your hand is actually going to fill up your hand a lot. Blades of the Fallen, 1-mana burst, Shadow Isles Shurima, give an ally Last Breath summon an Akathian Mirage with my equipment this round. Huh. Okay. It's a 1-round effect, worth noting. However, like, that's pretty good. Is it exact equipment, not a copy? I'd imagine it's exact equipment. I imagine it's coded effectively like an auto-equip. So, like, let's just say you put this on Kayn, and the Shadow Scythe is up to, like, +4, +0 or something. If Kayn is going to die, and you just put Blades of the Fallen on it, then the Akathian Mirage should theoretically get the +4, +0, I would think. Shurima and Shadow Isles both have a lot of units that enjoy dying. With all of Shadow Isles' Ephemerals and Last Breath units, and Shurima's Sand Soldiers and Sandstone Chargers and whatnot. Those guys dying and then replacing themselves with a unit on the board is pretty good. And paying 1 mana for that effect is pretty good. The equipment upside doesn't really come into play. The fact that it's not given equipped ally that effect and just any ally seems kind of powerful. Not quite sure what they were thinking there. I don't see it. What decks would want this? Are we really going to put equipment on ephemerals? Well, Fireth auto-equips it. I'm not talking about the equipment upside whatsoever. You can get a bunch of Sand Soldiers attacking at the same time, and then once they do, when it strikes, it's served its purpose, and now you have a 3-2 to be able to defend on your next turn. That's the big part about this. I think you can absolutely work this into Azir decks, because having defensive units available in Azir decks is rare. You don't see that too often. And I truly think Acathean Mirage could serve as a good unit in Azir decks. My point is, this feels like a very easy slot in to Azir decks. I think you can work this very easily into a couple of Azir decks. And honestly, considering that I made an Azir Nora deck the other day, I feel like I might slot this into that, honestly. Because that feels like a decent addition. Piltovan Castaway, 3 mana 2/1. Attune when I'm summoned, Improvise. So obviously, the stat lines are a little low here, but that is because obviously you're improvising, so you're putting whatever unit you make onto this card. Combine that with the Attune? This seems like a pretty decent unit, all told. It does suck that it has 1 health. The 1 health aspect is a little bad, but the Attune is where I see some decent value. If you need to replay an equipment onto a unit, that Attune helps. If you need to, I don't know, play a certain 1 mana spell for a unit that's about to die, maybe rhymes with Shades of the Brawlin. I don't know. It's a good weapon generator. It's a great weapon generator. And this is also an instance where I feel like you'd maybe choose Pot. I know, shocking. But if you got Pot O'Pain on the Piltovan Castaway, I feel like you'd maybe choose it. Because that extra health is a very nice little add-on here. Wandering Shepherd is a 3 mana 2/2. Pick an ally, it improvises. Ooh. If you don't, I improvise. Ooh. I'm surprised this one doesn't have a 2/1 stat line. I'm shocked that they're valuing the Attune higher than this. Are you kidding me? I mean, this just makes the Master Yi decks 10 times more feasible. Right? Because you play this guy, you play it on the Yi, and now you try and high roll the Overwhelm or the Scout. Faded support? Oh, it is faded support. Ooh, good point. Yeah, this could totally get added to faded decks. It's a pretty fucking good free drop, actually, for faded decks. Like, the 3-drop for faded right now is like, what? Ayula? Wounded White Flame? Well, Wounded White Flame is a faded target. Not a faded trigger. This also creates you an equipment that you can put back on the units. You can make them faded triggers later on. So if you want to, you can put this on a unit that you know is going to die, let the unit die, and then use it as a faded trigger in later rounds, which is really good. Solid card. Really solid card here. The final spell of the day is Catch. Give an ally +1/+1 this round, or equip it with an equipment in hand that costs 2 or less. Catch makes the weapon combat tricks. Nice card. Yeah, absolutely. It's a burst speed equip. You can equip at burst speed in Demacia. Yeah, that's they're really putting the fantastic 1-drops in Demacia, huh? Like, we've got the Kane one that lets you draw a unit or equipment in the top 4 cards of your deck. You get to pick which one. And now we've got this, which lets you equip a unit at burst. Or, on the off chance you don't have equipment, give an ally +1/+1 this round. I feel like they're building up to something. I feel like something's gonna happen in Demacia soon. I don't think we're getting a Demacian champion as our last champion. But I feel like over the next expansion or two, whatever champion we're getting, like, has to have something to do. Yeah, wow, this is just kind of a fantastic spell, huh? The ability to make equipment burst speed, that is huge. Obviously, you know, the burst speed is only on specific equipment. You can only really get this with your improvised equipment. A couple of these cards seem like they're going to be really good even outside of working with Jax, right? I can see about half of these cards being played in just their own regions without Jax helping them. And that's good design. That is a good way to design a card. I'm looking forward to Jax bringing all of these cards together, which all seem good, from different regions just to, like, make a really good equipment deck. I mean, we finally have something that gives us enough equipment to make equipment conditions seem worth running. So who knows? Let's see what Jax does.